All right, so let me bring my guest to the microphone, and I'm talking about Olaitan Williams, who's the founder and president of Ocean Ambassadors Foundation. Madam, it's nice to have you join us. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Victor. How are you today? Nice having me.
Great. I know that we spoke with you sometime around July this year, and at that time we were talking about your outfit, which is the Ocean Ambassador. So talk to us. How are things faring with your outfit this morning?
Very fine, very fine. We're looking towards our discourse on inclusivity in October 28th.
Right. And that's coastal inclusivity, right?
Yes, please.
All right. So before we talk about that particular event which is coming up, talk to our listeners. Ocean Ambassadors Foundation, what do you guys do?
Good morning, listeners. Ocean Ambassadors is just finding a gap to bridge in the gap in the maritime industry, right from secondary school where we catch them young, and for policy making to make sure that there is a sustainability in the maritime industry so that the blue economy will be sustained and not collapse.
Right. Okay, so how did you come about that foundation? I mean, what is your dream? What's the whole objective behind all of this?
Well, I come from a coastal community which lacked inclusivity. So it has given me a great challenge to make sure that everything is right in the maritime industry for coastal indigents.
When you say coastal inclusivity, you're saying that most of those villages are along the coastal line, they are not inclusive in the maritime domain, or what? What are you saying?
Yes, you see, most of the coastal communities, they have the low-hanging fruits in the maritime space, but they don't know. That is why the percentage of poverty is entrenched in that community. But on the contrary, they know the wealth of the waters. How do you now reconcile that? When someone that is sitting on gold doesn't know he's sitting on gold or she's sitting on gold, and she's now being shortchanged again, there has to be a balance at one point in time.
Right.
So I think the point is for us to drive it home to the policymakers that something is amiss. Something has to be corrected.
Okay, so there must be a connection between the blue economy and those coastal communities, and you are not seeing that connection right now, and that's why you are embarking on this. But let's get back to that dream of you building the next set of generation, the next generation of professionals for the maritime industry. So you're bringing in young ones to key them into the maritime sector. Is that correct?
Yes, that is why we have our package School to Sea, which we run thrice a year. And we now have, especially for the girl child, we now have the nationwide marine and blue economy quiz competition for the girl child. Well, maritime is not taught in school, so it's all about opportunities. So we do 80% girls, 20% boys.
Right.
And it has always been girls, but of recent, I think the boys just woke up and they said no. They are taking their space.
All right. So how many of these outreaches, how many of these trainings, these mentorship sessions have you had so far for these young ones?
Oh, we started 9 years ago, and we've imparted over 12,000 students through our quizzes, technical tours.
Wow. And this is for the young girls, but except for now that you're including the young boys, right?
Yes. Because, the percentage, the inclusivity of the girls in all careers is minimal. And to think of it that globally we have just 2% of the women folk working is really alarming. So we just must be intentional about advocating, sensitizing the girl child that no, you are not for the other room. You are supposed to be on top of the ladder
Right.
and you compete favorably with your peers.
And those who are listening to you this morning speaking passionately, they'll be wondering what drove you into this, or perhaps what's the compelling force behind your interest in this younger generation?
Yes, I needed to plow back because unfortunately, where I come from was the first harbor in Betty in Eko, then not Lagos State. That was where I grew up. And there we used to see the vessels that berth. We saw seafarers come into the neighborhood, but we didn't have mentors. We didn't have role models. If then there was inclusivity and not only trade, I'm sure the trajectory will be different. But we didn't have all that. They only came to trade. So when I went to a friend's office, coincidentally, and I saw a flyer that had ABC of shipping. So I sat down and I was wondering, ABC of shipping, is there any other ABC alphabet aside what we were taught in our primary schools?
Right.
So I picked up the flyer and I made a call to that place, and that was the game changer. It was the Nigerian Chamber of Shipping. So I started my capacity building from there. Human capacity development, I did all through.
Wow. And the rest they say is history for now.
Yes. So when I now, in retrospect, and I said, so I came from a coastal community, a maritime coastal community that had all these potentials. And I didn't know because we didn't have role models. So I now decided to plow back. What I didn't have, what I didn't know, to open it up to the girl child for them to come on board.
Right. So have you been doing this? I mean, what are the kind of things that you've been organizing apart from the quiz?
Yeah, we do school to sea programs where we take them to the seaport. We bring veterans to talk to them. And, that brings up so much enlightenment, and is always an eye-opener for the teachers and the students. Yes, we run the seminars for teachers also, for them to be acquainted, because you see, these careers they're not limited to students alone. Right. Some skills the teachers too can actually tap into to have a plan B.
Which is very, very good. All right. Let's talk about the next big thing that is coming up. I know you guys are thinking of, something new that relates to coastal inclusivity. Talk to me. When is that event?
October 28th at Munson Center. And it's purely on the renaissance of Enyibeti and the blue economy, but the title of this particular one is Unpacking the Potentials of Inland Waterways in the Blue Economy.
Okay, inland waterways.
Yes.
We see that the Lagos State government is doing a whole lot that relates to inland water. Just yesterday, the Omioko project was launched, which is going to be bringing in over 78 ferries and, of course, expanding and upgrading the potentials for over 20 terminals. How is the Ocean Ambassadors going to be tapping into all of this to ensure that we'll have coastal inclusivity?
Thank you. Well, before this Omioko project, we had launched our book, The Renaissance of Enyibeti, last year by the Minister of the Marine and Blue Economy. And in our chapter 8, we had the community inclusivity chapter there, where we made points for policymakers to invest in coastal communities, because that is where the low-hanging fruit of the blue economy lies. If the blue waters bring in the big vessels, it is the smaller boats that goes into the inland waterways.
Right.
And in Nigeria, out of 36 states, 28 states have inland waterways. With about 10,000 kilometer stretch of inland waterways, what are we doing with poverty, unemployment, innovation, and of course, putting food on the table. Something has to be done. Something intentional has to be addressed. So that is what we're wanting to explore and to give suggestions to the government, not Lagos State, but coastal states, the 28 coastal states
All right.
of Nigeria.
Just a second. We're going to take a short break right now. When we return, we'll talk about those that will be invited and those that will be facilitating that event. Olaitan Williams will be sharing that with us. And also we'll be hearing from you too. And that will be on that's 08099120777. That's 08099120777. That will be after this brief break.
From A to B, from A to B, from north to south, from north to south, from east to west, from east to west, from port to port, from port to port. You can ship your goods and feel good too. Oh yeah, Nigeria Shippers Council, we meet you at the point of your need.
The Nigerian Shippers Council is now better poised with responsive systems in place to help you and other shippers get seamless, stress-free transition for your clients' goods from point A to B. Today at the Nigerian Shippers Council, timeliness, orderliness, transparency and efficiency is all we care about. Put your complaint through to our helpline 0818-888-8895. Visit us at number 4 Ayodele Shoyode Lane, Apapa, Lagos, or reach us on www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng.
Nigerian Shippers Council, we meet you at the point of your need.
Nigerian Shippers Council, we meet you at the port of your needs.
Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. I see you have with me on the phone line Honorable Olaitan Williams, who's the founder and president of Ocean Ambassadors Foundation. And this morning we are promoting diversity and inclusion in the maritime space, looking at the next set of professionals. Iju Shaga Corridor, very free right now. If you're moving in from Fagba intersection towards Jonathan Coker, very, very good to go. Same for the return journey. Back to the railway line is also looking very, very good and nothing to worry. Most other areas are still very, very cool and calm. All right, then. So, Olaitan Williams, let's get back to that event. You're saying it's coming up on the 28th, which is barely let's say 10 days away or 9 days away from now, right?
Yes, please.
And it's holding where?
Muson Center.
So who are those that will be gracing the occasion? Who are the major speakers and what should we expect at that event?
Professor Adele Jinodu, of course, is our keynote speaker, a renowned speaker on contemporary and social issues. And of course, a son of Betty. And you see, we need to come up with blueprints through CSR, because the collapse of Betty, if we had something called social responsibility for community, for host communities, I'm sure this wouldn't have happened. We would have, like I said, have role models. Then with the blue economy that has come to play, it goes beyond just having skeletal schemes. We have to be intentional with the 65% of the youths that are unemployed. Honestly, the 65% are not in the urban setting. They are in the riverine and coastal areas and hinterland that don't have the opportunities, despite the fact that they're sitting on gold. So we'll be talking about the value chain of the blue economy, like fisheries and aquaculture. We need PPP investment intentionally in the coastal communities,
right?
Especially when they partner with National Inland Waterways that has 28 states, which is huge.
Right. So we call them littoral states, and we have 28 of them
Yes.
in Nigeria. All right.
Yeah,
So
Nigeria.
some messages coming in for you. By the way, if you want to join the conversation, feel free. 080-99-120-777. I have Olaitan Williams. She's someone who's very, very keen at ensuring that the next generation of professionals in the maritime industry can be cut, we can capture them now and ensure that we can build sustainability for the industry. This one says, Madam, do you think the maritime industry in Nigeria is friendly enough to women and young people? Lola
They're
is
not.
sending us.
They're not.
Why do you say
They're
that?
not.
Why do you say that?
That is, yes, when you look at the percentage, even in NIMASA wrote about seafaring, we have just 8% of the girls in seafaring. Aside that, at the managerial level, in
Right.
even shipping companies, they're all male dominated. The women fight for their right to get to the top.
Right.
It hasn't been easy even for ocean ambassadors as a president to get to this level after 9 years.
Wow. All right. That's a stark reality that we have. Another one here says, good morning, Ma. Can someone who didn't study anything related to shipping or the ocean still find opportunities in the maritime space? Jide from Oshodi sending this one in. Jide, thank you. Madam?
Very, 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 very true. I wasn't into maritime. I didn't have a first degree in maritime. I just stumbled into it. I was a treasury manager in a bank. Then it depends on your interest and passion, and you start crash programs for yourself, because there is no career you have on land that you don't have in the waters.
Right.
You don't all have to work in the ship. Supply chain management is there for anybody. And now we have African Continental Free Trade Area where, we still need experts.
Right.
So by the time you start helping yourself,
You can join the
you will
profession.
get there.
All right. This one says, please, Ma, does the Ocean Ambassadors Foundation offer scholarships or mentorships of students who want to join the industry? Mr. Barua is sending that one. Mr. Barua, thank you.
Well, we don't get direct. It's always a cap in hand. Last year, APM Terminals wonderfully gave us 3 scholarships for our first, second, third prize winners of our nationwide virtual marine and blue economy quiz. 2 years ago, Nigerian Ports Authority gave us 2 scholarships, and NIMASA during their NSDP program gave a scholarship to one of our boys who went to India to study nautical sciences, and he's back.
Wow.
We don't offer scholarships directly.
Okay. All right. This one says, good morning, Victor. Happy weekend. Do you think Nigeria is tapping fully into its maritime potentials, or we are still scratching the surface? David Ola is sending that one. David, thank you. Well, maybe Olaitan Williams can answer that one for us.
Well, we're not there. We're not there yet. That is why we're now talking of coastal inclusivity, where we're supposed to know that if we invest there, the turnover of investment there will be alarming, job creation will be there, there will be sanity, renewable energy, which will be free. We're not there yet, but the minister is working hard to make sure we get there.
Let's talk about this.
Like now, we're working towards getting back into IMO.
Okay.
And the minister is working assiduously
For that.
in
All right.
making sure we get there.
Let's talk about this
So
event
let's-
coming up at Musam Center. So who can be part of this?
Policy makers, we need more investors, bankers, then of course maritime stakeholders and various governments from the 28 states
Okay.
to come and see what they can replicate. If it is ecotourism, if it is water transportation, one thing a state must be identified with.
Right. And I hope you'll be able to reach out to all these littoral states, these 28 states that we're talking about. Have you reached out to them?
We're trying to. We're trying to.
Okay. All right. Let's hope this comes up
Because
well.
like one of the panelists is from Bielsa.
All right. So hopefully we should be having strong delegations from the various states that have water within their domain, right?
We should.
Okay. Let's begin to wrap all of this up this morning. This is your own idea, right? Who are those supporting the Ocean Ambassadors so that you can, look at best ways of promoting coastal inclusivity and also, training and mentorship for these young ones?
Well, NIWA, the major stakeholders, NIWA, NIMASA, MPA, ENL Consortium, Shippers Council. Then we have individual master mariners. Then we have individual stakeholders that believe in this cause.
Okay, so they've
that we're all working together.
All right, and they've been supporting as well. I said they have been supporting as well, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Like Stars too is doing a lot. Stars is doing a lot.
Okay then. Madam, it's so nice having you on the program. Quickly, as we round off, what's your message to the maritime community? And of course, where do you see the blue economy in another 10 years from now?
If we're intentional, if the maritime space is intentional, honestly, like the minister said, we'll surpass oil because we're still dredging.
Right.
And oil is depleting.
All right.
And for the viewers out there, please, let's be intentional, especially the investors. We need more investors in the coastal communities, especially the banks, with a single-digit loan or facility, especially Bank of Industry. Ocean Ambassadors has started something with Bank of Industry, and this is the best time for them to reach out to the littoral states and do more.
So for those that want to reach out to you, how can they get in touch? Quickly.
080 23 24 74 34.
Okay, that's 2324 74 34. Madam, it's nice having you on the program. Thank you so much for connecting with us this morning.
Thank you very much for having me. And our viewers, especially coastal people, please don't be hostile, be accommodating and friendly to the investors. And the investors, we say, please come on board so that there will be sustainability of the blue economy in Nigeria.
All right, then. We'll leave it at that for now. Thank you so much for connecting with us. All right. So we have been promoting diversity and inclusion in the maritime sector, the Ocean Ambassadors Blueprint. And our guest this morning, Olaitan Williams, who is the founder and president of Ocean Ambassadors Foundation. We have to go. Mike James has produced the program this morning. I say a big thank you to Rebecca Adamu, who's Assistant Director of Public Relations for the Nigerian Shippers Council. In the studios, Oyinkosola Oiko. And of course, maximum shout out going out to Okpayemi Shedunke and Remi Aloko of our social media unit. My name is Victor Oteri. Have a splendid weekend. Bye.